3, 2, 1, test. Yeah, seems like all is well. So, hi everybody, and welcome back to Trading Review number 5. This will be the review that concludes the week. It's actually putting this out one day late. I originally was meant to upload it yesterday. Today is Saturday, the 11th of July. This was meant to be uploaded yesterday on the 10th of July. But after a much longer London session than expected, I had to leave straight for work. So by the time I got home, there simply was not enough time for me to record everything properly. So I have decided to just wait until today and not rush it. For this reason, I just decided to postpone it for a day, but it's not something that I would like to turn into a regular. So today's review is going to be a little bit different because unfortunately I cannot show you my actual executions. The evaluation was breached and I immediately lost access to the trading platform and with it to all my execution history. And this is a slightly unpleasant thing that I have to say about this prop firm, about the fibers, because as soon as your account is gone, your access disappears as well, which makes reviewing sessions much more difficult. You don't have any more access, and you don't have access not necessarily to review and make a video out of it, but you don't have access to check your own process and to do your own journaling. So I can enter on the dashboard and check the executions log, but I cannot see I cannot open the actual platform where the executions were taken. So I can take my screenshots and everything. Either way, I think I pretty much have an idea. Like, I know my strategy and I'm gonna try to do something different today. I will basically try to use the bar replay in TradingView, and I'm going to walk you through every single step that I have taken the morning of yesterday in London session, the 10th of July. And I think also is going to come with more insights because it's going to be just like a session of live trading, but obviously I'm going to use the bar reply. And I also, you can say that I also knew what happened in hindsight, but my strategy is going to help me to map the session and show you exactly the steps that I've taken because it is a repetitive process. And I'm pretty sure it will help a lot more than just show you some executions, some markers, some little arrows with buy and sell. And I'm actually thinking to implement this perhaps also in the future. So let's get into it here. I will start by going into the daily chart and see exactly how the daily was looking when I came in the morning. So as you can see, this bar has not already closed because this is exactly 9 a.m. This is where I stopped with the bar replay. And this is how the daily candle was looking at the time. So as you probably know from my previous reviews, I was looking at a reaction from this level here. I was looking at a reaction, bullish reaction, if you will, from this level here. But unfortunately, we did not get one. 1 second, I need to turn my earbuds on because apparently they just decided to disconnect. Bear with me for a moment. Sorry about that. Bluetooth on. One moment. Okay, perfect. I have some noise canceling right now, so I don't hear the things around me. So I was saying that in the past days, I was looking at a reaction from this level here. We went right through it, and at this moment, after this yesterday's candle, which was this candle here, I was a bit uncertain on what is going to happen. But looking a bit also at the US markets and looking in the 4 hour and in the 1 hour, I have came into the London session with a bullish bias. And the reason I came with a bullish bias into London session, mainly because of how the US markets were looking, but not only. If I was looking purely at the structure of this instrument, if this instrument was trading independently, what I could see here was very simple. higher high, higher lows, higher high. I was expecting a higher low or whatever the low was going to be to take us higher. So the reason of me coming into the morning and looking for longs, or the main bias that I was looking for, was basically bullish. I wanted to long all along the session. Like I wanted to fix my trade on this. So I'm gonna go now into marking the levels because I see these are not marked here as my analysis has been done on the Fibers platform. I'm gonna go right now and I'm gonna do what I do every single session when it starts. And by this I mean I'm gonna mark the yesterday's regular trading hours, which were 17:30 here in the DAX. I'm, as you can see on the screen, I'm trading in the London session. Until now, I'm trading German 40, and I have 17:30, which is the regular trading hours for for the day, and I have 9 a.m., which is the opening of the new day. So everything that is in between these two lines, basically, it is a, let me delete this rectangle here. Everything that is comprised between these two vertical lines, it's what has happened outside of the regular trading hours. And I am naming this pre-market or overnight. Some people name it overnight session or pre-market session. So I'm going to mark the highs and the lows of this pre-market session. These are the levels that I work with every day. If you got a chance to watch one or any of my previous videos, I try to get into this as much as possible because basically it's the core of what I'm trading, my discretionary strategy. It's a strategy around liquidity. So the levels that I have marked here are pre-market highs and pre-market lows. The closing price of yesterday, I'm gonna go a bit zoom in here and I will put it basically at 1725 to 1730. This was the closing price here. And now I have to look into daily, and I'm gonna mark here daily highs, previous daily low. It's actually already marked, and previous daily high is actually here. And the last thing that I have to add, it's the 1 hour highs and 1 hour lows. So previous, actually, when I say 1 hour highs, 1 hour lows, it's a bit of confusion and a mistake. I'm talking about 8 a.m. highs and 8 a.m. lows. It's actually written specifically on the chart. You can see it here, 8 a.m. lows, 8 a.m. highs. And this is another important liquidity pool level for me. And I hope, I'm not sure exactly if this happened, but I hope you will see why perhaps it did happen. If I'm not wrong, it did happen on yesterday's session. So let's have a look. When I came into the session, I mainly trade in 1 minute and 5 minutes. I had all these levels marked. I'm going to do a quick recap so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Coming from the daily, I marked previous day high, previous day low. These are the first two levels that I'm having marked on the chart. I'm looking the next at pre-market highs and pre-market lows, and I explained exactly how I'm marking this is outside everything outside the regular trading hours. So for example, if you are trading the Nasdaq, outside the regular trading hours would be 16 until 9:30 the next morning, or 4 p.m. if you will, the same thing, until 9:30 a.m. the next morning. Yeah. So for DAX, again, 17:30 till 9 a.m. I marked the pre-market highs, pre-market lows, and afterwards I went into marking the closing price, yesterday's closing price. It happened to be exactly in the mid-range of pre-market highs and lows. It doesn't really matter, whatever it is, I'm going to mark it. And again, 8 a.m. highs and 8 a.m. lows. And right now, let's dive into it and start with the London session and see exactly how I approached every single step. So when I started in the morning, my balance, my account balance was somewhere around $48,413, if I remember correctly. But I can also go into here and have a look on, yeah. So this was Thursday, 9th of July, and the end of the day balance was 48,413. This is not too much of an importance, I would say, at this stage, as it is to start to walk through the trades. So I'm going to start by replaying step by step of 1 minute bars and walk you through my process and exactly how I executed everything. Okay, where do we have it here? Bar replay 3x. Let's see, so I don't do something silly. Okay, so this was the first 1 minute candle. The first 1 minute candle, when I saw this happening, I went first to check whether we took 8 a.m. highs and 8 a.m. lows in any side. And I saw that we didn't take any, but we took the previous 1 minute candle high and we are heading lower. So what I've done here, I opened a short position over here with the target at 8 a.m. lows because this is my liquidity pool. So my stop went somewhere, I would say, close to the extreme, not at the highs, with a negative risk to reward. But this setup, I would say, for me, it's a very high probability. So that's why I decided to put my stop at the highs, because there is a very high likelihood, based on my research and my data, that we're going to go for this low before we're going for the highs. Now, again, I'm not going to remember every single trade exactly on what happened, and now I'm speaking purely from an analysis that I see on what I see in this video, like I would trade live. So if I get some things wrong, I will try to readjust and tell you, okay, I remember here, I've done this, I've done that. Actually, I didn't take this trade as the price unfolds, because obviously I'm not remembering at the moment all the candles, of course, and especially the 1 minute candles. I have an idea of what the day did, but I don't remember the candles by any means. So I took a short here. I'm going to try to make this as small as possible. I believe, let's go to the next candle. So I'm going to mark, okay, we came slightly higher. I don't know, my stop was here or I covered the high. I don't remember, but let's see what's happening next. We come down, we top the 8 a.m. low. Actually, in this candle here, if I'm not wrong, as we were coming down, because these candles are unfolding, let me put them at 3 at 1, maybe it's a bit different. As this candle was unfolding, I actually added another position here, and this was something like this, where I was covering this high. There were two small positions, and I took profit exactly for both of them. I took profit, I believe, in the next candle. It happened because the next candle, if I'm not wrong, yes, exactly in the next candle. So when I saw that the price touched here, the 8 a.m. lows, I exited both of my short positions. So my shorts literally closed here, and I also flipped instantly, and I bought long here with a stop slightly larger. I put my stop at pre-market lows, because I knew that if the price comes here, we can have a larger sweep before we are reversing, if we are to reverse. So here at the 8 a.m. candle low, I decided to basically open a position and to see, as I do, I opened prop trades. If you're familiar with this concept, is basically testing the market at important liquidity pools that I'm following, which is, one of them is again the 8 a.m. lows where the price is currently trading. So I opened this position. I think my stop went to cover almost the pre-market lows, and let's see what happens next. We are taking this candle's low, and we are rejecting the downside, closing with an engulfing candle. At this moment, right in this candle, I remember exactly, right in this candle, as this candle was forming, not only did I take this position, but I added another long somewhere around, let me take the magnet off, somewhere around this level. I think we were perhaps 90. Yeah, I think around 90 here. And what did I do at this time? Adding another position. I think it was 4 lots here at the bottom. I added in another 4 lots here, if I'm not wrong. I can't remember precisely, but what I did do, I adjusted the stops for the first position. As you see, the stops were here at pre-market lows. When I saw this candle, I reduced my risk in the first position. I entered in the second position here, and I have basically dropped my stops for both of them at this candle's low. Why? Because when I have a reaction from a key important level with a candle of this kind, with an engulfing candle that swept the lows and closed bullish, then I'm not expecting the price to come there. If it comes there, it means that I'm wrong. Okay, let's see what happened next. As we went onwards, we have another bullish candle. Now, I don't remember precisely if I added exactly here. I know for a fact that I added 2 more position or even 3, but let's see as price unfolds. I perhaps waited for a pullback as far as I remember. No, I let the price unfold here. I let the price unfold. I was looking here at what kind of reaction we're going to have at 8 a.m. highs, because often it can also happen that the price is just going to reverse from the 8 a.m. highs. So I was looking at this. At the moment I'm in profit. I have my stops here. Perhaps my stops I already adjusted to somewhere to this body candles. I can't remember exactly, but I can tell you that I was trying to adjust my stops in as soon as possible to mitigate risk. Let's play forward to see what happens. Okay, at this candle here, I have decided to add another position. And what did I do? I added here a smaller lot size at this time. And again, my TP, as we were approaching the highs with this kind of momentum, I started to extend my TPs, because when you are, okay, once something happened here. Yes, all good. Now let's close this here. As we were approaching the highs again with this kind of momentum, I said, okay, I don't want to limit myself at taking profit at the highs. This is what I said in the moment. So I decided to extend my TPs, and I already zoomed out and I looked into this and I said, fine, we already had the tap into the daily, because we tapped here. Where was it? 1 second. This was the first tap into the daily gap. We had the daily gap to the downside. As you can see, we tapped into the overnight session. We tapped into the gap, and I said, if we are managing to close slowly above these highs here, which were the pre-market highs, if we are managing to close above this, I would like to hold these positions, because basically I was, in my mind at the time, I was in at almost at the low of the day, right? So I traded towards, and now I'm in longs here. I'm adding my third position. I'm looking at the price, and I'm putting my stops somewhere here in the middle. I don't know yet how far price is going to go. I think I actually extended a bit higher, because I was starting to look, and I will show you exactly what now. I was starting to look at this, and I'm gonna find, okay, Fibonacci here. This is what I was looking at. And I basically went and I marked the 50% of this price leg. And the reason was very simple. If you will look, whenever we have an aggressive move, be it to the downside or to the upside, price will try to seek to rebalance that price leg. So be it bearish or bullish, it doesn't really matter what price does in the end. Not every single time this won't happen. I'm not saying it would happen anytime. We can break down from here very easily. But a lot of times, the probability it is, if you are seeing bullish structure forming and we are not rejecting, we had 1 tap, 2 taps, 3 taps now, then perhaps the price wants to come to rebalance. This was the thesis behind. So I took this and I marked it as 50%. This is another drawing template that I had, and I kept in mind that we perhaps might gonna reach for that level. So being again in the 1 minute, let's unfold a bit more price here. Okay, I saw this candle. Again, my thesis is being confirmed. I'm not entirely sure if I added here or not. Perhaps I waited a bit more. Okay, we are having now another retracement. I was looking at this. I was also looking in 5 minutes in the same time. So I was looking in both time frames, 1 minute and 5 minute. And I wanted to see how we are reacting. Okay, at this candle here, I just added another position, and I will explain you very simple why. We had a consolidation above this level here. We have a consolidation above this level here. We have exactly the same scenario. We have a drop below, and we are closing back inside the range. This is one of the signature setups for my of the signature candle closes for my setup. Whenever I see some liquidity being taken and I already have a predefined bias, this is one of the candles that I'm looking for. Just like here, same here. So I decided to open another position, but again, my stop, I'm being cautious that we can come back inside the range. I'm putting my stop here at the lows. I'm adjusting the lot size accordingly. If I opened 4 or 5, 6, 7 lots here at the bottom, I cannot remember exactly. I think I actually started small with 4, 4 and 4, and I added here 2 and 2, and I think here I added again 1 or 2. I extended my TP to match this ones here. And I said, okay, I'm in for the ride on another position. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because whenever I'm right, I want to know that I fully maximize the position. This is a very aggressive style of trading. I don't advise you to do this. If you are new to trading, can be very, very dangerous. And you will see why. This session is going to unfold and it's going to reveal exactly why is it dangerous to add into positions. Let's have a look what happens next. So price doesn't tap the highs yet, the pre-market highs. We are here, we are coming down one more time, and when I saw this candle here, we came down, we didn't tap the highs. I said, okay, just like here, I have decided when I added my second position, even if it was very, very close to target, I decided to take yet another long. And let's see, I put my stop again here at the low to cover a couple of candles, and I hold here for the highs. So my gross positions, like the big positions that I had, they were here at the bottom. I think they were either 4 and 4 or 8 and 8. And here I had 1, 2, 3 longs, 1, 2, 3 longs in this consolidation, basically holding to see how we're going to react at pre-market highs, and knowing that there is a high probability that even if I open here, I'm going to be in profit at least for a couple of points, because I was seeing this pre-market highs being taken. We had these two stacked highs here. This was Asia high. We started already to form bullish structure. Look at this 1 hour candle. We swept previous 1 hour candle low. In all this time, I'm analyzing all these time frames crisscross. I also have an indicator here that helps. I think it's called ICT, higher time frame candle. Somebody, I think on YouTube I've seen, and basically what they do, they display you the next time frames. If you are in 5 minutes, they show you 15 minutes and 1 hour. I have not used this. I have to configure it a bit. The colors are different and so on. But basically, if you want, you can use this. It's called ICT, higher time frame candle. So instead of you swapping two time frames to continuously check how the higher time frame closed or how the 4 hour is looking, you can basically stay here in 5 minutes. You have this indicator ICT, higher time frame candles by FADI, and what you have, you zoom a bit out and you can stay in your 5-minute chart, and you also have in the same time the 15-minute structure and the 1 hour structure. I find it a very good indicator, but for me it's already like, when I'm working with 5-minute time frame, I can already see how the 15 minutes is gonna look, because I'm tracking what the time is in the hour. So for example, if we are at 10:40 and right now we're having the last 5-minute candle up to 10:45, I can envision on how the candle is gonna look, but this takes practice. So this indicator can help with this. Right, let's go back to how the position looked like and what happened further. So I was already in big positions here at the bottom, another 1, 2, 3 here at the top. Let's see what happened next. We are breaking above pre-market high. I'm waiting here to see, are we going to reverse? I'm already in profit, consistent profit, 2 big positions, 3 another positions here. Let's see what happened next. What happens next? We have a stall. We stop for a moment and we push higher. At this moment, I'm becoming aware that we could have a slight rally, but I didn't know where to this rally is going to go. So I went in the higher time frame and I said, if we have at this moment, if we have disrespected this huge gap, you see this gap here, we have this 1 hour gap. Let's put it, I'm going to do it here so you can see it clearly. You see this 1 hour gap. If we trade, the price traded in and it didn't reject it to it, and we're actually managing to reach higher, then it's very likely that these ones are not going to hold either, and we're going to come for at least 50%. This was my thought process exactly at the time. So I'm looking at this in 1 minute and in 5 minutes. I don't know why the 2-minute candle is here on the chart, but let's take it off 1 second. Here, the advantage of having a good TradingView package is that you get to be fussy about what time frames you want to have. I remember when I was trading the normal plan and I did not even know which time frames to choose to have, because I think you're maximum allowed 4 or 5 when on the basic plan. Yeah, anyways, so we start to unfold and I am getting quite comfortable in the trade because I'm looking at the structure and I really like what I see. We are doing this staircase shape price action, which you love to see when you are in a trade, and especially you enter in a very good position. So I'm holding onto this. I'm holding onto this. I'm holding onto this. I'm looking at this, and I think here, if I'm not wrong, I decided to add. If there is a rejection candle, no, 1 second. I think on the next candle here, yeah, I decided to take yet another. Oh, okay, one, two, three. I decided to take yet another position. So I'm trying to reduce my size as we are going up. And at the moment, I was ready to bring, and I actually brought all my stops. Imagine that there were horizontal lines, and I'm bringing all my stops to the half range, to the halfway of this range, because I said, if we are coming, I don't, we can come and sweep here below these lows, but I don't want to see the price coming below this line. So my stops at this time, all my stops were came up to here at this level, including this one, perhaps slightly higher. But let's see what happens. So I'm continuously adding to this because I want to take advantage of the move. This is my style of trading. Is one thing that I learned from Tom Hugard. It's very important to add to your winners and not to add to your losers unless you already plan for it. But we'll get into this later. So I'm looking at the price and it's unfolding and it goes quite well. And at this time, I'm already rubbing my palms and I'm saying, okay, I think this trade is going to qualify me. It's going to pass my challenge because I was already scaled in. If we were reaching this level, not even that high, even if I was down from the maximum 50k, I was down 1,600 with the size that I was in, that I managed to scale in. I had already, I would have been securing about, I don't know, $6,000 or something like this here at the highest, because that would have been what, another 183 point move. So I started to get quite confident that my market trade is okay, and especially this price action is it's a price action that indicates that we are rallying, like we didn't really have deep pullbacks or anything. So let's see further down what is happening. Not sure exactly what's coming next. So we are still confirming at this stage. We are still confirming that we want to go higher. Imagine I'm looking at the screen and I see profits. I think I was 1,000 or something, at least here 1,500 in profit. Nothing signals to me that this wants to reverse. I think my average entry price was somewhere around here because again, I had big positions at the bottom. So I'm sitting comfortable in this trade and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, what's happening? Here, I already start to ask myself, I don't like how this is looking. I'm going in 5 minutes. I'm saying, okay, we have a retest level here. We can come and retest this level and go higher. So I moved all my stops somewhere around this area where somewhat from visual calculations of whatever they were indicating to be somewhere close to break even, I would say. And let's see, I'm being taken out. So all my stops, as if you remember, I said they were somewhere here, were somewhere higher, just about break even. I'm being taken out on this trade. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, we were very strongly bullish. I'm looking also in 15 minutes and I'm thinking this candle has not broken structure yet or anything. So this still looks good. If you look here, we are still having bullish structure. We printed the low, we are still having bullish structure. I'm saying to myself, that's fine. I can live with this and I can still remain in longs. I got taken out for break even, a bit bitter, but it's okay. Let's move on. Let's see what's happening. So I'm seeing this reaction here that I'm having, and we are in this price leg over here in this block with this fair value gap. And I said, okay, I'm going to take here a long position. So I took a small long position. I put my stop. I said, I didn't give it a lot of room to react. And I said, let's see if we can deliver higher. Let's see what happens next. So I'm being taken out from these trades already. Yeah? Like these ones are already gone. All these trades that I have here, they are extended obviously to the right. I don't have to do this, but you understand that every single one of these positions has been stopped out. Wait, my stops were brought here. Well, it's hard to now to do this, but you understand all the stops were adjusted. I've been taken out in this candle here. So I decide to long. I'm looking at this candle. I decide to enter again in longs because as I said, my bias was long. I'm looking at this candle. I'm not yet being stopped out. Let's see what happens next. I think I added somewhere here. If I'm not wrong, I might have added into this, but I ended up having two positions, not very big, but stopped out of both of them if I'm not wrong. 1 second. I got stopped out definitely of both of these positions that I added. I wanted to be long here again. As I said, by looking at the structure here, I wanted to be long and I got stopped out. So these positions were stopped out here. I had two of them. They were stopped out. So at this moment, I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, what is it going to happen? I looked at the structure and I said, we didn't yet break going lower, but I still don't know what is happening. So I'm waiting at this moment. I want to see what's happening next. I'm looking at this candle and I think to myself, okay, I think now we're ready to go higher. So I go long, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. I went long and I put my stop loss. I didn't allow, or did I? Give me one moment. I want to have a look, see what happened here. I think I went long on here if I'm not wrong. I'm expecting a shape something like this. If this is the case, I want to see if this is the right moment when it was, because I remember sweep also taking some shorts. The shorts I already dropped it on here. Let's have a look. 1 second. I think I went long here. I believe I went long. And of course, I was targeting again for new highs. Let's have a look. Yes, I went long, definitely I went long. So look, without knowing, I'm trying to take you through all my thought process. I hope you see that this is a thing that I'm actually reliving in real time. Like there's no way you can memorize all these candles, but with the way I trade and how I know that price reacts, you realize that my pattern recognition stays the same. So let's have a look. I think, okay, here, what am I doing at this stage when I'm here? I'm looking again and I'm thinking to myself, we are ready again to go for highs. It was just a deep retracement to scare out all the traders that were early buyers. Let's go higher. So I'm seeing this candle, which is a confirmation basically of this. I'm putting my stops already of the first position. You see, I'm already almost risk-free. I'm entering here a bit more aggressively, like it's higher. There's a difference of what? 103, 133, that's about 30 points. And I'm targeting again with both. I'm targeting for new highs and perhaps towards that 50%. This was it. And as we go higher, let's see what happens if we go higher. Did we? Or did we not? Yes, we go higher. And I'm looking at this. Why do I have this here? I don't know. Why is this here? Can I move it somewhere else? How do I do this? How do I put this here? Oh, this is weird. Copy, hide, remove. Okay, I don't know how to move pen up. Okay, I'm stuck with this thing here, and I do not know how to. Okay, I think here it is. Okay, let's leave it like this for now, because I'm just I will deal with it later. Right, so I'm looking at this position. I'm already adding, and I'm looking at this. I'm already in with another position over here. I'm looking at this candle, and what am I doing? Of course, I'm adding again here. I'm adding again. My stop goes this time, I think somewhere below this lows. I can't remember exactly, but all this time you have to understand that I'm dynamically adjusting my stop loss, trying to be dynamic with my stop losses. So I am long again here because we are breaking this high with this such momentum. I should have perhaps waited for confirmation, but I didn't. So let's see what happens next. We have an indecision candle. I'm long. We have a reversal candle. Now we're pushing slightly, slowly, we're pushing higher. And I'm seeing this candle and I'm thinking, okay, we are just going to go perhaps in here, find support in this gap and continue higher. I don't know exactly where my stops were. I cannot tell you exactly how I was managing here. But I remember, if I'm not wrong, this came down and it took me out for -3 or $400 or something like this. I believe, because I really thought that we're going to go higher. I think my stops were somewhere here. I was already in with two other positions here and one at the bottom. And I believe I didn't do the pyramid correctly. I think this position halfway was the same size as the one at the bottom. So this, if I'm not wrong, yes, it comes down. Now, we come down and look what happens. I'm out of this position. So in the first 5 trades or whatever positions I had, I was pretty much break even, maybe minus 20, 30, the spread or whatever it was. In this, I'm already down like minus couple of hundreds. I can't remember exactly how much, but I'm just guessing from the top of my head. I am I'm seeing this low being taken out and I'm looking in the 5-minute chart and I'm saying to myself, okay, we might want to come up again because we just swept this. I went on 15 minutes and I said, okay, this looks like a very good sweep. Remember, I'm trading sweep of liquidities. This is my bread and butter setup and this is what I trade. So I'm looking at this and I come here and I put the risk to reward tool, which I never do. I just enter directly, but I put it for you now. So for a better graphic representation, I'm going through this and let's see what price does. Price rejects again to the upside or not. Oh, no, wait a second. Let's see. No, I was actually in. I was in this long. I was in this long and I remember I actually started to add when we broke above here. I think we broke above here. We broke above. And I believe I added another position here, something like this. Again, targeting for new highs in the day, somewhere here. So let's see what happens, because from here I don't really remember. Okay, we come towards the lows. I remember here, if I'm not wrong, I remember I've been taken out again, so I'm losing again at this time. And when I saw here, I believe, when I saw that we came and we took this low, at this point, if I am not wrong, I hope I'm not wrong, I actually decided to flip the switch and trade towards the liquidity. So I came here and I entered. I put my stop. I think it was a negative RR here. Or I don't think it was. I can't really remember where I let this come slightly higher. I think perhaps, and I traded towards the lows. Let's see how this happens. I remember I had 2 positions on this. So I was in this and I wanted to see the pre-market lows being tapped. So I was in with one and another one positions. I'm not going to put the reward tool, risk to reward tool again. So I made some profits on this and we managed to tap the pre-market lows. And once we tapped the pre-market lows, I wanted to see what kind of reactions we have. So we swept basically Asia low here. If I go in 5 minutes, perhaps, give me 1 second. I don't know why I have this here. Maybe I can delete it. This is the big gap that I was talking about. Let's delete this. At the moment, look what we're doing. We don't have momentum to any of the directions. We are trending towards the downside, but we swept a major pool of liquidity and I cannot see, where are the sessions again? Okay. Okay, we're going again through the same thing. No problem. Where is it? I should go back a bit. Okay, let's have a look now. Why is this doing this weird thing? I do not know. Anyways, I think I will just leave it because it's actually it's making me a bit angry. and I will deal with it later on my own. All you have to know is that we were trading at Asia lows. This was the overnight session. We were taking Asia lows. That's what was the most important. And I wanted to see what kind of reactions we have. If I'm not wrong, I have decided to long here, if I am not wrong, where I wanted to see what kind of reactions we have. So let's have a look. Okay, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I believe that I decided to trade towards, at least when I saw this reaction at Asia lows, I decided to trade again long. And let me enter here long just for the sake of entering based on what I think as I look at the charts right now, because I don't know exactly what I've done. But let's say I would have entered long here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. If I'm not wrong, I believe I entered long here. So we come down one more time. I'm being taken out. I see this reaction here. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this looks a bit sloppy here. I better give it a bit of time. I actually think, I don't remember, but we tapped this fair value gap and I might have exited my position when I saw this rejection candle here. Let's see what happens next. Price is a bit sloppy. I don't know yet what it wants to do. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, we tapped once, we tapped 2 times below the pre-market lows, and this is the third time. And I can tell that here, exactly the next candle, here I decided to enter long. Here, I decided to enter long. I covered this low slightly lower. I can't remember exactly how much. I think it was this low here I covered it. I covered this low. Again, I'm with a probe test. As you see, I'm not waiting for any confirmation. I'm just trading, okay, 1, 2, 3 taps. I believe that this is going to be the next move. We're going to have it to the upside. So I am here. I'm taking a position which is substantial. Mind you that I'm already down a couple of hundreds for the day. Let's see what happens next. I'm looking at price, and at this moment, I already added more at this candle here. Because why? We are getting acceptance back inside the range, back above pre-market lows, and this signals to me that I want to be long. So another position here, the stops of this one are getting adjusted higher at the lows. The stops of this one here, the second one which I'm entering, are getting adjusted also at the lows over here. I don't want to see this level tapped again. And what am I targeting with both positions? Not both, because I added more, of course, along the way. I'm targeting again new highs on the day, at least new highs on the day, if not that 50% level. So let's see how this unfolds. But I hope it makes sense so far. Let's walk through what happened. I've been short towards the 8 a.m. low here. I took some profit. Afterwards, I'm flipping long. I'm in longs. I get taken out for break even. We're coming down. I get taken out for break even here. I'm in longs again. I'm losing something. Here I'm looking for a sweep of liquidity. I'm in longs. I'm losing something where I get out for break even. We break down. I'm taking a slight loss here, and finally I am in for a reversal and for new highs on the day. And this is a position that I built very, very, very nicely. I was so aggressive that at every 1 minute candle I added another one, another position. Again, I'm pyramiding. My biggest positions were here, here, and perhaps here. If I'm not wrong, I took another one here. So I'm watching every 1 minute candle how it prints, and with every 1 minute candle, I'm scaling into a position. I know this is insanely aggressive, but I hope this thought process helps you pick only one of my entries, not all the entries. It's enough for you if you just pick one and make a good trade out of it. I am trading the way I'm trading. I cannot change who I am, but you can pick only one out of this. So let's see what happens next. So I'm in the 1 minute here. I'm looking at price. We are beautifully delivering to the upside. I believe that at this candle here, as we were trading lower, I have added another position, and I'm not wrong if I say that I have added another one right here. As we came, we took this candle's low where we created pretty much equal lows. At the same time, what am I doing here? These stops are slightly starting to come higher. Why? Because I understand that if I want to add more, I need to mitigate my risk. And I'm adding more into this trade I'm expecting again new highs on the day. I'm switching on the 5 minutes. I'm looking to see how are we looking here. We have some, if you want to call it, liquidity or trend line liquidity here. We are breaking out of this, but I don't want to see the price coming all the way down. So I think my stop stayed at the body candle here. We're around this area. I basically didn't want to see the price come anywhere below this low, which was the ultimate sweep here, the third touch. So I'm adding again into this. Let's see, let's unfold, see what's happening. Okay, we're beautifully delivering higher. I don't remember here what I've done. Honestly, I can't remember, but I know that in this bit, I added 3 or 4 positions. So 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4. Price continues higher. If I'm not wrong, at some point here, where was it? Not here, but definitely higher. The price went higher. If I'm not wrong, let's see, because anything can happen. Was it or not? I can't remember. Look, let's see. So I'm scaled into this. Oh, okay, here. I'm looking at the price and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do. So I'm already scaled in. I'm not break even yet. So I'm not yet break even, but I'm getting close to break even. Why? Because even if I had entries here at the bottom, I have already entered in um, in other positions higher. So I think if this comes lower, I think I took another break even here. Let me see. I can't remember exactly. I think it came slightly lower. I may be wrong. Let me see. I can't remember here. Okay, yes. So I took my break even somewhere around here, perhaps. Or was it lower? Oh, in this candle here. In this candle here, I think I took my break even. So I got taken out by um, all these positions, got taken out. But I looked at this candle and look again the same pattern: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what do I do? Being taken out again of all these positions here for break even, not for a loss. So this was not a bad trade, but I knew um, because when you're aggressive, I knew that there is a risk that price comes against you and you have to decide very quick. Because if you let a position like this where you entered, I think I wasn't even break even at this time, but because I think I got scared out that this might gonna come against me, and I can't remember whether I even closed for break even or perhaps a bit of profit. All I know is that I think here I started to rebuild another long position when I saw this candle. I needed to see confirmation, so I got out of this because I thought it might gonna come against me with big size since I was scaled in, and I started to build another long here. So let's see what happened. What happens? The price starts to give indications that it wants to reverse. I'm already thinking that this is the low of the session. We took pre-market lows. Maybe this was just a retracement. Maybe here I was a bit too early to close my positions break even. I said, okay, that's fine, no problem. I've been doing this all morning. I can read the 1 minute chart. Let's go again. So I went again, start to build positions. What do? I take here. So I entered very, very fast with every single 1 minute candle. I read price and I'm entering really, really fast as every 1 minute candle information gives information. Let's see. I hope the price is not going to collapse here, but if I'm not wrong, we are printing another leg higher here. So I'm reading the information one candle at a time. Okay, let's see. This is interesting. Okay. Okay. I'm still not being taken out. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'm completely wrong here. Maybe in this. No, look. Look what happens. So here, what do I do here? I'm still in these two trades. I'm not out, but when I see this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I finally got you. After 1, 2, 3 attempts, the fourth one, I'm in. I got you. Finally, we're going to be in for new highs on the day. All this time, look, why am I saying this? You also need to look at the structure. This doesn't look like something that wants to go to the downside. At this time, it looked to me like something that swept the highs. We took the liquidity on the highs. We took the liquidity on the lows. And we are going to go to create new highs. as I was looking at this, and Nasdaq was up 1.5% as I was looking at this. Dow Jones perhaps 0.3%, and S&P around 0.5 or something like this. So I was looking also analyzing what happens in the US markets, and I thought, okay, this is just having um, a messy morning, but it's gonna find its way to go to higher prices. So I'm starting again. I have 1, 2 positions here. I said 1, 2, confirmed this candle. Now I'm adding the third one, and let's see what happens. Price goes higher. We are taking this high. We are putting this candle in. If I'm not wrong, at the very next one, I'm adding again. Yes, at the very next one here, as we took this high, I'm adding a new position over here. My stops are already obviously coming. 1 second. All the stops here are now at this low because I don't want to see this being revisited. So my risk decreases. And for this third position, if I'm not wrong, my stop went somewhere here, I believe. Fourth position, not third. And all this holding for new highs. All this holding for new highs. So let's see what happens next. So I'm already scaled in here as well. I'm here, here, and here. So my entries are somewhere around here and here at this time. And my stops are here at the low. Let's see what happens next. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are, oops, 1 second. Was it? No, I was still in this trade. I was definitely still in this trade because it didn't close my position. I can tell you for a fact. Perhaps I went wrong here on putting the stop, but 1, 2, 3, and this one was covered perhaps here up to this one, up to this block. I was still in this trade, so the position was not stopped out. What do? We start going higher and we create new highs. And this to me starts to look like, okay, I suffered a lot throughout the morning. I spent here 2, 3, 4 hours looking at this. That's all right. I'm ready to take my, I'm ready to, I'm ready to make it all worth. So 9 a.m., it's already what, 12:10. I already have 3 hours of charts. I have 3 attempts. I'm trying my best to manage the risk and everything. Let's see what happens next. So I looked at this and I said, okay, this already traded into this gap. There is no point for us to, again, this gap has been traded and we didn't create new lows. So attention, we have sweep of the pre-market lows. We go higher, impulse leg, we come down, retrace, we fail to create new lows. Now we are going higher again. Let's see what happened in the next candles. At this moment, I'm having real conviction that we are going to go higher. I'm having real conviction at this time that we are going to go higher. I'm not sure in what time frame I was at this stage, but I think if I'm not wrong, I was in 5 minutes and 1 minute. I was juggling between these two. We are closing here above the high. I'm starting to look at price and I'm thinking to myself, okay, we are definitely going to shoot for new highs on the day. Yes, here it is. So we are slightly going higher and higher and higher. And I'm rubbing my palms again for the third or the fourth time today. And I'm thinking, that's it. You suffered, but you're going to make it. You're going to qualify in one trade because I'm scaled in at every single move. We're still going to the upside. All this should be extended to the right, as you can probably see, but let's see what happens next. Oh, I scaled in here again. When I saw this candle, look, I forgot completely. When I saw this coming down, taking liquidity, going higher, what do? I put my stops. I think I bring all my stops somewhere around here at this low. So I bring my stops here at this low. And I'm aiming for new highs. And as we are going higher, I'm trying to add, I added here, I know I added again, because we were approaching, look, what's happening here. We were approaching previous highs here. And as we were approaching previous highs, I said to myself, we are going to go for new highs. So I'm going to continue to add to this. We have low, high, lower low, retracement here. We retest this level. We have this rejection candle. We go higher. I continued to add, but I wasn't adding as aggressively, but the positions were obviously, they were adding up. I was adding, I think I added here again. If I'm not wrong, I added another one. I'm not sure how much right here. Put my stops, same here or even slightly lower and waited for new highs on the day. And let's see what happened. 1 second. Okay, let's see what happens next. What happens next? The price starts to do this. The price starts to do this, and I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, okay, I don't really know what's happening. We don't look really bad. We look like we really want to retest again. We retested here. We look like we want to retest. Perhaps I added another position here looking at this candle. I'm not entirely sure, but I was already, my entry was averaged up because I have already added in a couple of positions here. So I might have added here as well. I don't remember exactly, but I was already averaged quite a bit up. Price doesn't look bad at all, as you can see. And all of a sudden, what do you know? Comes and takes me out. And takes me out. And if I'm not wrong, I got taken out for a bit of minus. I can't remember. I was already minus a couple of hundreds. But I think at some point, I'm not sure, be it here or slightly lower. I can't remember. Here's one of the moments when I cannot really remember whether I can't remember what I've done at this place. I have to jump a little bit later. I think I've got taken out in. I think I've got taken out here. Yes, I've got taken out here for the positions, for all these positions, and I've got taken out for a couple of hundreds, I believe. And when I looked at this, I think this was the time when I said, you know what, I actually have to keep an open mind and understand that perhaps I got the bias wrong all along. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, we came all the way down, we swept the lows, we're going higher, higher low, going higher. We failed to create a higher high, and now we're actually starting to go lower. Not only we start to go lower, but we already have momentum in the candles. So what do I do now? Because I'm trading with the information that I have at hand, I am already wound up. I'm a bit emotional. I have to admit this. Here I already, I kind of lost myself because I said, what's going on? What's happening here? Like, okay, I got it wrong all along. I have to have an open mind and be able to flip my bias. So I think if I'm not wrong, from here, when I saw this, I started to build positions short. And I said, there is a high likelihood that daily all this daily price action, it was just a tap into the fair value gap now, and we're going to go lower. Why did I get to this conclusion? Because when you get punished constantly for being in longs or taken out at break even, you need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. So with little mental capital that I had left for the day, I decided to flip my bias and to go short. And when I saw this candle, so I entered here one short, if I'm not wrong, and afterwards, 1 second, I entered another short here at this candle. When we confirmed, I put my stop at the highs. As I said, we were already down, and I was waiting here. Basically my TPs were just open to see what the market gives, but I knew exactly where my stops were. So if I'm not wrong, the positions, the stops were somewhere here, because I said we could come and sweep this one more time before we go down. I remember that here at this stage I kind of lost, like I couldn't read things properly. They were not as clear as they were until now. But let's see what happens next. So yes, we come down. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I said, okay, we are approaching the lows. I'm just going to add, did I add another position? Maybe, maybe not. But look at this. Let's have a look together. I saw this and I said, what does this look like? What does this look like? To me, it looked like something that wants to come down, more especially when I also frame it on the daily and I said, you know what? Maybe I was wrong with the longs all along. Even if the US markets were looking like they were strong enough, maybe this has been a sweep above this range. Where is it? Let me show this. Above this range sweep, Now we had a consolidation and we are ready for another leg lower. So this was my thought process after I got destroyed continuously on the longs in the morning, because I don't want to dramatize it, but the morning was really, really heavy. So I was already aware of the fact that my bias could be wrong. I decided to flip biases because perhaps I also wanted to get my part back. And yeah, let's see what happened next. I think I added, as I said, I was already in 2 positions. I'm looking at this. Oh, I already added, I think, another one here. Short. Also stop at the highs, waiting to see what's happening lower. And let's see. All of a sudden, the market reverses against me. The market comes against me. I think I decided to... Oh, wait a second. So this was the candle. I didn't get a chance to stop myself before. This was the candle when the presidential cabinet in the United States tweeted something related to ceasefire that was positive for the markets. And all these 3 positions, basically, when this candle shot 100 points, I've got taken out. My stops were really tight here. I've got taken out and I breached my account. So yeah, took a while to get here to this point. It was a very long ass video, but and is not yet done because I have to drop the conclusions for the day, because there are some important lessons to be taken from here. So I'm going to revisit again and say that I was long here and I was in great profits for the day. We came down. I closed my position for almost break even. I decided to go long again. I'm getting taken out for a couple of hundreds. I'm trying to long here again. I'm getting taken out for something. I tried to short here. I managed to take some very little profits. I tried to long here again. I'm getting taken out in the first touch. I tried to long here. I'm seeing nice profits just to give back, break even, or give back a couple of dollars. I'm getting long here again. I'm getting stopped out again. I'm getting long here again. I'm getting stopped out again here. I'm trying to flip the short when I see that we are failing to create higher lows and higher highs, and the presidential US cabinet tweets what it tweets. I don't want to make it sound like it's because of whatever they tweeted I lost my challenge. I was not sized accordingly. I lost because I was supposed to account for this kind of events, especially with the current administration in the United States. You can expect anything at any moment in time. So as you can see, this 1413 was not a CPI event, not an NFP event, was nothing. It was just a tweet candle. But even though it was a tweet candle, it falls on me to calculate and assess and allow for this kind of moments. So yeah, looking back, I don't think this was a terrible trade or a terrible trade idea. I actually managed. I was very surprised with how well I managed the emotional roller coaster that I went through throughout the morning. What I did fail to recognize was that perhaps this looked more like a trading range here instead of a directional convicted environment or conviction. I shouldn't have conviction. I shouldn't have expected new highs to be created. I should have perhaps looked at this and be like, okay, we are creating momentum to the downside, momentum to the upside, momentum to the downside, momentum to the upside. But because I trade liquidity, and this is how my strategy works, I have tried to apply my strategy at every single point and wait for new highs in the day. So the biggest problems were not my entries, I would say. If anything, several of the entries were actually pretty good. So the problems came afterwards. I repeatedly scaled into positions because I thought that I deserved to be paid by putting so much effort into this morning session. I allowed unrealized profits to disappear while waiting for larger targets. I exceeded my intended position size, definitely, and eventually I put myself in a position where one unexpected news headline was enough just to vanish completely to breach my account. So looking back, I cannot say, I don't think that the market beat me. Yes, it put me down emotionally, but I think my risk management did, because I should have never been in a position that would allow me for the day to literally wipe out $1,500 or whatever I have left till my maximum daily loss, which was around 2,450 or something like this. So yeah, this week also forced me to think of something slightly bigger than a losing session. I was a bit demoralized and down yesterday, and I didn't really know how am I going to pick myself up. But I realized that if I want to continue this process of reviewing and staying consistent, I need to keep myself into the. I need to keep myself trading. So um, I decided to not to make a priority from making money, but I also decided not to make a priority on jumping from challenge to spend a lot of money. So for this reason, I decided to reduce also some variables that were giving a lot of unpredictable aspects into my trading. Like trading the DAX with this Fibers account made me realize that having to go from a broker where I'm doing my analysis on TradingView and having to execute on their platform all the time and switching back and forth is not something that I necessarily want to do. So I decided to, from next week, to stick to one market and to follow somewhat one process, like my strategy. I'm not going to change anything. I just want to execute one set of rules consistent day after day. So over the last couple of weeks and days, I would say I've been giving a lot of thought of how can I get a raw price action, because if you remember on one of the videos that I posted Monday, I believe, I found discrepancies from CFDs brokers when you are doing your analysis. So I'm using TradingView to do my analysis, and Fibers were having their embedded TradingView platform. So I got a bit confused when I saw that there were different price feeds. The candles were basically showing different price levels from one broker to another. And because of this, I am currently moving to futures. Not because I believe that futures are somehow magically better, but because they may provide a better environment for me to continue improving while keeping the cost of learning under control. I have to say that the Fibers challenge is I got a discount to purchase the future challenge, which was with Lucid, and they had loot or case loot, something like this, discount of 60%. So I paid around $56 for a challenge, whereas for Fivers is 5 times as much for a 50K challenge as well. Yes, the futures challenges are coming with different rules, and they are slightly more difficult once you have a trailing drawdown of $2,000 on a 50K account, which you don't have on Fivers. But all things considered, for me, I'm not going to have the opportunity to trade DAX because they only offer Globex CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So I will be trading Nasdaq, but they may provide a better environment for me to continue. So nothing changes about my strategy. The objective is simply to build an environment where good execution becomes easier and bad habits become slightly harder, I would say. So yeah, losing this account hurt me because I didn't expect to breach it this way. Like if I wasn't taken out by this, I would perhaps keep on trading next week. But hey, it's still my fault because I didn't account for proper risk management. I paid for it with money that genuinely I couldn't really afford to lose at this time. Um, but yeah, if there's one thing this challenge reinforces, that consistency isn't built by finding a new strategy every month. Consistency is built by executing one process well over and over again and focusing on your risk management. If I cannot become consistently profitable with one simple process, adding more markets, I'm thinking more complexity or more ideas, I don't think is going to solve the problem. So next week, I'm going to start a blank slate. I have already purchased the account. It was a very good value for money for me, no brainer. Same strategy, simpler environment, less noise, and hopefully better execution. So I don't think the goal is to avoid losing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose again and I'm going to have losing days. But the goal is to lose in a controlled way, learn from it, and continue improving until consistency finally takes over. Yeah, this is a very long video. It somewhat summarizes. I had to go through every single thing. I basically retraded my 4 hour session in 1 hour here with you. If you found this helpful in any way, feel free to leave a like or a comment. It helps a lot, and I would be really appreciative of that if it's something that you consider doing. I really hope that you could take some insights, or at least maybe you can frame a model of trading based on liquidity. It's something that I personally love a lot. But yeah, with all this being said, trade safe, and I will see you in the next review next week. Thank you.